Paul Annie's Bluegrass Bar in Darlington, South Carolina. It's south, deep south. Darlington is a Nucor Steel town, but unlike so many towns built around steel, here people don't wallow in welfare and unemployment. They know that out on Steel Mill Road, Nucor has a job for them. Always.
Is it true that you have never actually sacked a person?
That is correct, as far as for lack of work.
Lad Hall runs Nucor's Darlington Mill. Nucor has 7 others scattered across the country, and all have the same enviable employment record.
In 30 years, how many quarters have you not shown a profit?
0.
How do you make a profit and never lay anyone off?
You have to have great people that are productive, and we have both.
What Nucor and its employees do is ride the ups and downs of the steel market. When demand is up, as it is now, the plant works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everyone works overtime. But when the market dips and orders are down, they all do fewer hours and take home less pay.
What happens is we'll take a mill or a division and we'll have them go working 4 days a week instead of 6 days a week or 7 days a week. And their pay will drop accordingly by 25% or 30% or what have you, but they still have, everybody still has a job.
Ken Iverson has just retired as Nucor's chairman.
And what happens to your pay?
Oh, our pay drops also. Actually, the officers' pay will drop more than the workers' pay.
It's a kind of welfare company.
No, egalitarian is a better word.
Mr. Iverson, the brains behind this scheme, says it's sharing the pain with the gain. When he began building Nucor 30 years ago, American steel companies were restructuring and sacking left, right, and center.
The small towns of western Pennsylvania have been devastated. One steel mill after another shut down.
In the 80s, nearly 500,000 steel jobs were lost permanently. But at Nucor, Iverson sacked only a handful, and they were all for stealing, drug abuse, or incompetence.
A lot of companies become bloated with people in their bureaucracies, and eventually there are a lot of people they don't need, and they shouldn't never have put them on in the first place.
I just don't understand how easy it is for you. I mean, it's not as though you're some corner store. I mean, you're the second biggest steel company in the United States. Nucor, your company, doesn't sack people.
No, we don't. It's very rare. But that's just part of the company philosophy and the culture and organizing it so that you don't have to lay people off.
After a few days at Nucor plants, it's clear that they do just about everything differently here. Instead of making steel with iron ore, as others do, their raw material is all scrap metal. Nucor is now America's largest metal recycler. But most importantly, its people are multi-skilled. They share jobs as furnace crushers, forgers, and ladlers and grinders. It's simply more efficient that way. And Nucor's approach to wages is also very efficient.
We pay our people a very, very low base wage. We pay them a very, very high incentive for productivity. And with the right type of people and the right carrot out in front of them, they go after it. And because of that potential high wage, we can attract the very best and most talented people, and we have.
So what are you paying guys out there in the production line?
I think on average on our production, last year it was somewhere between $65,000 and $70,000.
That's more than 100,000 Australian dollars.
What you need to realize is we do not, it doesn't matter what we pay people. It really, truly doesn't. It's what does it cost us on a per ton basis. You know, I would like to double my employees' wages if they could 2.5 times their productivity.
When it comes to staff, Nucor thinks small. They run their entire operation with only 7,000 employees, way below the industry norm. Workers divide into production line teams. Each team competes with those on the next shift and those in other Nucor mills to make the most steel per shift. Nucor says its workers are 4 times as productive as its competitors.
It's all teamwork.
Right, like a football game.
Yes, but what if someone doesn't fit in, doesn't like the team's approach?
Sometimes that happens. You what we call ragging. Come on, man, you gotta do better than that. You can't do no better than that. And sometimes a lot of times when you make people a little angry, they might do better. And once they find out they can do better, sometimes they just proceed and do a better job.
To form this crack workforce, Nucor has another strategy. They build their plants where there are more pigs than people. The theory is that workers in tight-knit country communities, men like electrician Stan Thomas, work hard and then play hard, but stay together.
I was raised on a tobacco farm. We didn't have a whole lot of money, but we had a family that worked hard and worked together, you know, and we learned to save what we had and make do with what we had and make the best of bad situations sometimes.
Stan's manager is Jerry Gillen.
People know how to get up early, don't mind working long hours, they know which end of a wrench or a spanner to use, and when things break down, they know how to turn it around and operate it on a shoestring.
Nucor's small is beautiful policy even extends to management. A staff of a mere 29 runs the company at a no-frills head office. Remember, this is the second biggest steel company in America. There are no company cars or executive dining room. Everyone eats at Sticky's across the road. Compared with other American chief executives paid in the tens of millions, Ken Iverson was massively underpaid. $350,000 a year, plus bonuses and share options.
Well, your Fortune 500, I mean, in their list of 500 companies, they list Nucor as amongst the most successful, yet you're one of the lowest paid.
That's correct. I think that's true, but I don't think that executives should earn a whole lot of money in relationship to the hourly workers. I think that it's not reasonable. It's not equitable. Why should an executive earn $1 million a year and some employee earn 25 or 30,000?
You're a communist.
No, that's not a communist. Heavens, no. It's not even a socialist. It's a capitalist.
Another philosophy is no unions, because he says there's no need, and the workers seem to agree with him.
Strikes? What is that? We don't have that.
No, you don't here. Why not?
Because we're not unionized, and our pay is probably higher than any union mill is.
But the union will do something for you, surely.
Yeah, take our money.
That's about it.
Every Nucor employee we spoke to said much the same. But the union, the United Steelworkers of America, says they're facing a big risk.
The risk is taken by the workers. 50 to 60% of their salary is based on risk.
Leo Gerard is the Steelworkers Union International Secretary.
They've attracted a good workforce, I'll give them that. But what they've done is they've put the risk on the workers. So if the market tanks at no fault of the worker, or if Nucor's management makes a dumb decision and the equipment breaks down at no fault of the worker, it's the worker that pays the penalty.
But talking to Nucor people here, there's no sense of confrontation, no sense of them and us. One blot, though, in the Nucor copybook occurred when they closed down their one offshore steel facility in Trinidad. Everybody was retrenched. But Ken Iverson obtained American visas for all who wanted them and found them work in the American mills.
Everyone was offered a job.
Now, that is absolutely amazing.
I don't think that's amazing. That's just the relationship with people that's important.
With that in mind, I showed Ken Iverson news footage of the day BHP closed its Newcastle Steel Works after 84 years.
What they do, just lay them off?
They think that they're going to maximise their profits by closing that down and sacking those workers.
That's not true. They won't. And they could maximize their profits by putting more money in.
Do you feel a twinge of sadness for those blokes there?
Yeah, I sure do. It's a terrible thing for them because they're steel workers, and steel workers are a unique group, and they aren't going to take another job.
Making hamburgers.
Yeah, to make hamburgers, or, you know, or be shuffling papers in some office. That's not their type of work.
From what I have observed of BHP, they're now in the process of promoting another industrial plague on the world. In my estimation, calls for a worldwide gathering of workers to deal with BHP.
Do you think the time has come for a big, strong union like yours to teach BHP a lesson?
I think it's time that the whole labor movement in the world got together and taught BHP a global lesson.
Whilst the Steelworkers Union mightn't like BHP's labour practices, Nucor likes BHP's technology. The two companies have just formed a joint venture to exploit a new BHP-developed process that will eliminate some reheating furnaces like this one and save millions in gas bills. But the joint venture says an immense amount about the two companies. BHP, on the one hand, top technology, but atrocious labour relations. Nucor, on the other, well, I've never seen a company anywhere in the world that handles employee relations as brilliantly as they do here.
Employees are the most important asset that a company has.
But at the end of the day, it's the bottom line.
At the end of the day, it's the bottom line. You have to make a profit. Actually, the purpose of the company is really not to make a profit, though. The purpose of the company is really to exist so that it will be a place for children and grandchildren to work. Profit is really like the blood in your veins, but it's not the real reason for your existence.